We've been on the road for over a year now, driving from the Arctic Ocean all the way down to the tip of South America. From remote locations to busy cities, from the Arctic to the desert, this journey has been an adventure of a lifetime. But with van life, it's not just epic views and unforgettable moments. It's also the real everyday stuff. So one of the questions we get asked the most since we started van life is how do we shower, poop, and do laundry when we're on the road, especially in a remote location like this. So today we're going to show you exactly how we do all of those things on the road. Which means I'm going to have like 5 showers today, which will be good for my ankle. Speaking of that, yesterday when we were on our way into this really beautiful place, we were walking down a hill to see how steep it was, to see if the van can make it. And
well, so far, not bad, but just at the ground. Oh! Oh no!
That really hurt.
Oh.
Oh, I'm really scratched up. I don't even want to look at it right now.
Oh man.
Oh. So that hurts. And so that was fun. And now I have road rash on my ankle and it hurts quite a bit. So one of the things me and Will need to do first thing in the morning is use the restroom. And sometimes there's no restrooms nearby. When there are restrooms nearby, we definitely use them because they're the most convenient. But sometimes you're in a pinch and you need to go like right away. And sometimes we actually have outhouses, like in this area. We actually have 3 outhouses over there. Most of our campsites don't usually have outhouses, but there are some that do. And in those cases, they're great, except for today. These ones are actually really gross. So they're very overflown, and I used one this morning and I got a lot of splashback, which is really disgusting. And we don't like that. Other times when we don't have an outhouse or a public restroom nearby, in the past we've resorted to digging holes and burying our poop. So what'd you think of the outhouses, Cora?
Literally the worst. Ever. Never again. Frankie's been too.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
But now we're so grateful to have our new portable toilet made by today's sponsor, BOXIO, which makes pooping off-grid so much easier. We have the Max Plus, which also has a storage box underneath with everything you need. It comes with fully compostable bags and odor neutralizing hemp. We also store some toilet paper in here with some hand sanitizer. It's super easy to set up, and it automatically separates your number 1s and number 2s, so it reduces any stinkage. You just open this up and you put your fully compostable bag in your bucket. You pour a little bit of your BOXIO shake. You don't need too much of it. And your poop will go in this side and your pee will go in this little jug. And you're good to go. So if you're truly wild camping, you could just set up the toilet anywhere. But when there's a lot of people around, you can use this beautiful tent that gives you privacy. Woo! So one of the other difficult things to do on the road is doing laundry. Usually we try to do laundry every couple of weeks, but sometimes we push it a little too far to about once a month. And you know, that's not great when all of your clothes just stink. Usually we go to laundromats, and we find laundromats in pretty much every town. Some smaller towns don't have them, but more bigger towns do have them. But sometimes when we're in a pinch and we really want to wear a specific thing that's gotten dirty, or maybe we've spilt something on it, we need to wash it right away. Our favorite way is in our new BOXIO sink. When we have a thing or two to wash, it's really convenient to use our BOXIO sink. You just open it up and it comes with a mirror. You set up your little tap. This. You just squeeze it a few times and turn it on. And it'll wash a shirt perfectly fine. And we do have a sink in our van, but the sink in our van is really bad at conserving water, as where this is amazing. The sink in our van tends to get really grubby and oily with doing the dishes. Washing clothes in our sink isn't that great because they just get more dirty. So if you're like us and you already have a sink in your van, it's perfect for when you have friends visiting. After we're done washing, whether we washed in our BOXIO sink or at the laundromat, sometimes we have things to hang. So we just find a tree or we hang it in our van and just hang our clothes up. So while we were doing laundry, some dolphins stopped by to say hello. While wild camping or van lifing in remote locations might make doing laundry, using the restroom, and showering much more inconvenient, moments like this remind us why it's so worth it. So one of the most difficult parts of being on the road is finding a shower. Now there are showers in a lot of places, but sometimes and oftentimes it's actually like $15. And you know, when you're trying to save money, that's a little expensive. So we have a lot of different methods in how we shower, and it really depends on where we are. When we were up in Alaska, we were very rarely showering, or we would rinse our hair in the sink. But the thing is, in Alaska, we were there in the winter, so it was always cold. So it was really hard to go around with wet hair. So most of the time we just went for prolonged periods of time not showering, unless we found a shower for like $7. So now we're going to show you all of the different ways that we've found and used to shower on the road. So method number one is just using our sink. As you can see, for the purpose of this video, we've cleaned out the sink. It's really annoying to do, so we don't do it often, but if we get very desperate, this is what we used to do in the past. As you can see, I'm at the point where I really need a shower. My hair is very greasy, but I'm also doing this no shampoo method where I'm not using shampoo and I'm just rinsing my hair under the water, and then once a week I do an apple cider vinegar rinse to get rid of all the oils in my hair. Now I'm not going to do that today. I did that the other day, and my hair is going through this really awful phase right now, the in-between phase where my hair is getting used to not having to produce so much oil. So what I do is I put my head in the sink and I turn on the tap and I just give my hair a little scrub. Pretty simple, but it's kind of annoying. So sometimes Will will actually help me with this, and I will lay across the counter with my head here and he will support my head, but it gets really painful because this is quite sharp. So this isn't my favorite method. Then to wash our bodies, I have all of these baby face cloths, and this one's actually a little more rough, so it's a little bit more exfoliating. And easy peasy. Just get it wet. And then scrub yourself down. So method number two, when it's actually much colder out, using tap water can be very cold, So we like to boil water. So we'll set up our stove and boil a pot of water. Not actually boil it, but just get it warm. And we'll use that to clean up. And now we just wait a few minutes for it to heat up a little bit. So now that we have our water heated up, I would clean my body the same way. So I would just dunk this in there, give it a squeeze, and give my body a good scrub like this. And then after that, I would dunk my head in, give it a good scrub. I'm not gonna do that right now because it's one of the most inconvenient ways to wash my hair, but this method worked really well when we were in Alaska. It was freezing cold outside and we couldn't shower outside. So another method that we like to do when we have warm water like this is actually we connect it to our tap. So we'll show you. So for the sake of today's video, I'm gonna wear a swimsuit because obviously I'm not gonna get naked on camera. So what we do is we actually just pull this out, let it drain a little bit, and we put it right in our nice warm water. You can see it doesn't come very far out, so it gets very annoying and it can get everything around this area wet. But I'll
Let that fall.
let it fall.
Yeah, I'd just let it fall like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that down so it doesn't hurt anybody, me. So then we just turn it on, and there we go. You can shower right outside. It doesn't last very long, so you gotta shower fast or put it on very low. It worked for us for a while. But again, very close to the van. Can be a little inconvenient. And when there's people around, you could put a swimsuit on, or you could use like the BOXIO tent, for example. But because this doesn't pull out very far, the tent has to be very close to the van, it makes things even that much more difficult. So that's why we're really happy that we have our BOXIO sink, which has the shower attachment, which we'll show you. So you can also use your warm water in your BOXIO sink. You just take this part out, unscrew that. You grab your warm water, and you screw the top on back tight. Put the sink back in. Just make sure your things aren't in the way. There we go. Put that in. Take out your spigot, faucet, whatever you want to call it. And you got your nice little shower head. You just stick that right in. And you got your on and off button. Then you squeeze this a few times. You turn it on. And turn on the little faucet as well. And you get a nice little shower. This is so much better. Especially when you're in a beautiful place like Baja and it's nice and toasty warm out. This feels amazing. Now since there's people around, it's the perfect time to use the BOXIO tent as a private shower, or you could do like me and just go in your swimsuit. Depends how much privacy you want and how comfortable you are. And then of course, as we mentioned earlier, our final method and most expensive method is to just go to a public shower, which can cost anywhere between $5 and $20 in the US and in Canada, but in Baja you can actually find them for pretty cheap. But of course you're not always around a shower, so this is perfect for when you're van lifers like us who are not always in a place that's convenient to shower. Now that our laundry's done, our toilet's set up, and I'm squeaky clean, it's time to enjoy the rest of our day in this beautiful place. After a relaxing afternoon at our little slice of paradise, we teamed up with our friends to make some fresh guac and pico de gallo, then we settled in with a good movie to wind down the night.